Imagine if an SJW got a hold of this stream right now. Oh my, we would be blacklisted.
We're canceled. We're canceled everywhere.
Of course, yeah.
That's the kind of sacrifices I do for the night. I gotta watch Disney fucking Star Wars.
The guy with the guy in the cloak with the hood. Just, you know that.
Again, a lot of people, a lot of people are really mad about that, man. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We've got a very special late night tonight. Something maybe you didn't see coming. I don't know. I'm joined by the infamous masked man, Darth Melvin. How you doing, brother?
Hello there, this is Darth Melvin, leader of the Knights of Melvin, and I'm doing swell here on Xwing's stream. The very first time I've appeared on another channel. I've had many requests.
I was shocked. Honestly, you and I were going back and forth a little bit, and I was like, well, you want me to pop over there? You're like, no, I'm going to come to your channel. I'm like, what? Okay. All right, let's do this, man, for sure. So welcome to the Hangar Bay. I hope you're doing well tonight. I have to ask, we all start one place as a YouTuber, and excuse me for making this a little bit of an interview as we start out here, but I'm honest. I'm interested in you as a person. What got you started on YouTube, and why did you pick this route? Why the mask? What's the breakdown? Like, give us a little bit of info here.
This isn't my first time on YouTube.
Okay.
Back, way back when it started, maybe like early 2010s, I tried out YouTube and kind of did like sort of a South Park thing. Definitely would have got canceled.
Okay.
So I had to apply for partnership, and they accepted me. And ultimately, I made $100 and decided to quit.
Okay.
Because, it just wasn't working out. So I got back into YouTube about like 2015, 2016. I started watching Geekdom 101 for Dragon Ball Super. Like, I've never followed... I've always looked at YouTube as like a viral kind of thing, but didn't really think about like spending time to follow channels.
Right.
I started following him. Then, Star Wars came back. Fucking Disney Star Wars.
Dude, every time you say that shit, it kills me, dude.
And then I started watching Star Wars Theory in like 2017.
Right.
Something like that. So yeah, just started getting into the whole YouTube, like watching people on YouTube, like around 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
Then after the sequel trilogy, then I started getting into Geeks and Gamers right around The Last Jedi. And then, after Rise of Skywalker, like I had enough. I had enough, and I was thinking, I've been kind of like itching to get back on it, wanted to have the right idea. And, all this is very calculated. I looked at the Star Wars YouTubers, and like it's oversaturated. And it's like, where can I fit in this community?
Square on the other end of the spectrum, essentially.
And this is what I came up with. And the whole mask thing, I get a lot of people crying, why does Melvin wear a mask? And it's just because... as wearing a mask, I'm a symbol. I'm more than just a man.
Oh my God, you're like Batman.
I'm like Batman. See, it's cool when Batman does it, but it's not cool when I do it.
Of course,
according
right.
to the shills.
Ronnie for $4.99. Tell Darth Melvin how much we love Disney. I'll go first. My favorite characters are Rey and Reva Skywalker.
Well, Ronnie is a hashtag fake fan.
He's
not just a fake fan, a hashtag fake fan.
Ronnie, thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you.
You got some fans in the community too. I mean, Echo Base is over here just shilling for Melvin right now.
Another reason I got into it, after The Last Jedi, everyone was freaking out. And it reminded me of the prequel trilogy. A lot of people were freaking out about that. And I knew it was different I knew it was different, but yeah, I gave Rise of Skywalker a chance, and it was fucking worse than The Last Jedi. And I was very happy with how people responded to The Last Jedi. Like, this is trash. And
People were not happy, bro.
And fucking Disney, they saw that and they reacted, because there was a little bit of retconning, a little bit of rewriting in Rise of Skywalker. And, you know, they listened to the fans. And then what fucking pissed me off was after episode 9. Do you think they reacted like after The Last Jedi, that same reaction? No, people were saying, oh, they loved the movie. It was a great conclusion. So,
what's funny is, like, I feel like a lot of deep divers, people who are really into Star Wars, a lot of them take The Last Jedi as the exception, and then they hate The Rise of Skywalker. And then the people who are casual fans take the opposite route. They're like, I didn't really like The Last Jedi, but The Rise of Skywalker was great. And as somebody
those are the Last Jedi shills.
Anybody who enjoys storytelling can look at the Rise of Skywalker and objectively say, like, that was written terribly. It was awful. I mean, that wouldn't pass for a video game quest, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
It was unbelievably bad, and then I see people shilling for it, and I had enough. And so I kind of think, like, geeks and gamers, you know, they trashed The Last Jedi. And I'm the guy who came on and started trashing The Rise of Skywalker, that new wave of YouTubers. And it's been like 2.5 years now. Kind of fucked up. I'm becoming almost a 3-year veteran on here.
Are you coming up on 3 years?
2.5, but it's just like,
wow, man.
It's weird.
Jeez.
I've been on here that long. I still feel like a new channel. The goal is to get to 100,000 subscribers. I'm on multiple channels, building a fucking brand. The Melvin
That's
brand.
not even a thought in my brain, bro. Not even close to ever getting that big. But you know, it's interesting. I've watched some of your content, and I watch it. I feel like there's two different aspects to your channel, right? So there's one which is kind of going after other YouTubers that you feel have this, like, you know, mega shill. It doesn't matter what Lucasfilm puts out, they're gonna love it just to get clicks. And then the other side of it is you actually talking about the content of Star Wars. And the content part is what kind of interests me, because I went through this little journey after Kenobi came out where I won't say like worried about shitting all over Disney Star Wars, but I would say, like, I was trying to find something good in it, right? And then you make one bad video and 60 people jump on your back and they're shitting all over you just because you said, you know, a couple bad things about a fucking Disney show. And it really rubbed me the wrong way, to the point where I was like, you know what, now I'm going to go even deeper down that road. What do you think what is the difference there, where it seems like if you're positive, people will accept you. If you're negative at all, people will jump down your fucking throat just to try to get you off the air? Why is that?
See, it's all about hypocrisy. See, people look at me and they're like, Darth Melvin, he's a toxic Star Wars fan, and he's a Star Wars gatekeeper. And it's like, do you think Darth Melvin of the Knights of Melvin was the first to gatekeep Star Wars? Remember The Last Jedi? If you don't like The Last Jedi, you fucking hate women.
What?
You didn't
Why?
hear that?
No.
That's what Disney was saying. All the shills.
You know, it just seems like every time there's a valid criticism for anything that Disney Star Wars puts out, there's always got to be an hysterophobe or something attached to the end of it just to discredit any valid criticism that you could have for something that they're doing. And there's no accountability there. It kind of pisses me off. I'm going to be honest. It just kind of pisses me off. And, you know, I don't make videos about it and stuff like that. Maybe I should, but why is it that we can't have valid criticisms? Do you have an answer for that?
Because we're just not allowed to have opinions on anything. Like, this stream is about opinions in Star Wars, and how I say you're not allowed to have an opinion. Well, we're not allowed to have an opinion on anything.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to tell anyone who you voted for in the last election if it wasn't for the current president? It's like, you say that to someone, they put you in a box, say you're this, and that.
Ship
like,
you to Guantanamo Bay.
So it's like, people can cry about my Star Wars view, But it's like, this is fucking Star Wars. This is bigger than Star Wars. We're not allowed to have opinions about anything unless it fits the right fucking agenda. And
so there
Disney...
Fucking stop doing that, dude. That shit kills me every time. Disney! Do you have a t-shirt that says Disney?
No, I can't have that on Teespring.
Oh, I want a Disney t-shirt. So, anyways, yeah, there's always going to be underwriting social factors that take place when it comes to mass media. That's thanks to Twitter, thanks to all of those different platforms that, some people will say the vocal minority, but the loud people really get out in front, and that's what kind of drives the narrative of what we're talking about. And the bottom line is, if you have the money or you have the people who have no time, that's who's going to get out in front. It's the people screaming on Twitter. It's the people making posts and stuff like that. So in a day and age where there are those of us who are kind of crying out about, hey, we should probably respect what George created and try to emulate what George created the most. Do you think there's room for Star Wars to change in any way, or should we try to keep it the same way it was?
A lot of people will say, like, Darth Melvin just, like, complains about Disney Star Wars, and I'm unfair in my criticism. And the thing is, I've actually been very fair in my criticism of Disney Star Wars, which is not Star Wars, it's Disney Star Wars. See, I gave the sequel trilogy its full shot, and then started the channel. But, I was hoping that they could change some things around. I was pushing a retcon movement, trying to get people jacked up.
That was big. The retcon thing was big.
And it's like, there's a reason why they did not, it was a long shot to begin with, but there's a reason why they did not do sequel trilogy content after episode 9, and why we still haven't seen shit after episode 9. Because I don't know if they were thinking about it or not, but if the fans would have rejected their shit, just like The Last Jedi, then, maybe something would have happened. Maybe some of these bigger YouTubers would have been pushing the same shit, the Melvin agenda. Maybe something would have happened.
Melvin, you can't champion that whole fucking thing. What are you doing?
No, it's the real fan agenda. And so, yeah, people were just shilling for it. So I started with my 0 subscriber channel, tried to get a following and, get the point across. And I really feel we only had like a few months to make an impact. And it looked promising after season 2 of The Mandalorian with Luke Skywalker returning.
Looking good, yeah.
Because the only thing I want to see in Star Wars is Luke Skywalker kicking ass. We got that in that finale.
You don't want anything else?
Well, that's the main thing I want to see, Luke Skywalker kicking ass.
Okay.
And then, it all went downhill when they fired Gina Carano for having an opinion, a political opinion.
That was a big problem for me.
And so then I just kind of knew from there that, like, this company's not going to change. But I did not officially give up on them until after Book of Boba Fett, where they basically retconned the Luke Skywalker season 2 finale of The Mandalorian. They retconned that whole shit. And now I just started pushing the hashtag sell Star Wars. So I don't give a fuck what they do with Star Wars. It's not George Lucas Star Wars. It's Disney Star Wars. So there's nothing that they can do to save it. And the Kenobi show just solidified that. Hashtag sell Star Wars. So what I'm planning on doing with the Knights is, if we can't save Star Wars, we're sure as hell going to avenge it.
So here's hold on. Let me hit the super chat real quick. This is somebody from your community. Star Wars mansplain. Disney only wants a woke mob as their fans and only want to further their agenda. There's an interesting point in there, something that I think's actually worth talking about for a minute, but every time I freaking click on something, it takes my mic off the air. Thank you for the donation. We're going to talk about that.
Thank you.
So have you ever looked at something called ESG, environmental social governance?
No.
Okay, so this is like a real thing that companies have to deal with in Hollywood. Essentially, what it means is, what is this company's impact on the environment and on social impact in the sphere of the United States? Because so far as I know, ESG only actually takes place in the United States. One of those things is diversity, equity, and inclusion in your company and in the products that you make. So when we talk about a checkbox when it comes to movies and things like that, that's actually a very real thing that they have to check off on. Otherwise, they don't get the money from the bank. So that's a real thing. My question would be, why is it that the characters that we're getting, regardless of skin color, gender, whatever the case may be, now I know from what I remember, you're not a huge fan of Rogue One, apparently. I love Rogue One. That's a female lead. I thought that was great Star Wars. It was the best thing that Disney has done concerning Star Wars.
I don't think it's bad. I just thought it was boring.
A lot of people feel that way. I think my brain just kind of goes to the space battle and Vader at the end, and I'm like, that's fucking Star Wars. I just really enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed it, and maybe it's the high at the end of it that really got me going on, but isn't there a way that they can fulfill all those things that they need to do while still writing a good story?
Not with the people they fucking hire. They've hired these left-wing activists to write their books, their shows. The Vocalite with Leslie Headland, she is a big-time activist nut job, and that show is not going to be good.
Yeah, they're breaching into some of the stuff that I had hoped Disney would not touch. So one of my biggest concerns was them going to the Old Republic and talking about like Plagueis and stuff like that. And apparently we're going that direction. So the hope that I had for that show is it's kind of going. Actually, I don't know that I ever had hope for that show, to be honest with you. Leslie Headland's one of those people that is a little insufferable to me because everything that she says is more important than you feel about it. That's just how I feel about Leslie Headland. She's just more important than everybody, and she's going to do what she does, and fuck you if you don't like it. And I don't like those people. You know what I mean?
Basically. And it's a lot of people are hyped for Kenobi, and Kenobi was fucking ass. And it's the same thing with this show. It's like, oh, it could be cool before the Phantom Menace. Oh, some Sith running around. It's like, it's like Star Wars, like George Lucas Star Wars, sort of. But the people they hire and their history, they're gonna fuck it up. So
yeah, they don't have a great track record right now. That's the bottom line. And a lot of fans are feeling some apathy when it comes to Star Wars because they have fucked it up. I mean, the bottom line is we were coming off a high when it came to The Mandalorian. People are like, fuck, maybe they got it together. Holy shit, maybe they did it. And then we get the Book of Boba Fett, and then we get Kenobi, which in my mind, as a prequel baby, that was like one of the biggest offenses Star Wars has made. Kenobi was a massive offense for me. And it threw me out of the loop. Melvin, I was off YouTube for like 2 months. I was like, I don't even want to fucking talk about it, dude.
The sad thing is, a lot of people ate it up.
Oh, they loved it.
I saw the poll from Star Wars Theory. A lot of people said they liked it or said it was okay. And that's just fucking unacceptable because they're going to do it again. Rinse and repeat. Fuck Disney.
See, that's so the big problem for me is that when you have an IP like Star Wars, and Mark Hamill said this a long time ago, it doesn't have to be good, you just have to get ass in seats, right? So anything that they make, people are going to watch it, whether they watch it because they're excited about it, or they watch it because they just want to make content shitting on it, or they watch it because they're just curious about, is it going to be good or bad? People are going to watch it. So to gauge that as a success, I feel like is a very, very, very kind of myopic view of Star Wars content. I mean, this is big shit. Star Wars is big shit.
Yeah, and they managed to find a way to fuck up a Star Wars hotel, Star Wars theme park.
Please don't make me talk about the fucking Halcyon.
That takes real talent to fuck that up.
I will go full Night of Melvin talking about the Halcyon. That shit pisses me off to a degree that I don't even know. I don't even know. The thing that really pisses me off about the Halcyon is that shit made it through multiple levels at Disney. People are like, we have an idea. And somebody's like, yeah. And then somebody else was like, yeah, good idea. Until it worked it all the way up to final approval. And somebody fucking greenlighted that thing. What?
Fucking Matt Martin.
I physically can't fucking understand how, not only from a fan perspective like you and I, but from a business perspective, to shoehorn yourself into one small aspect of Star Wars that most people don't fucking like anyway, and then build an entire hotel and make it only that. What the fuck were you thinking?
I don't understand, because every corporation, they want to make money. But it seems like with Star Wars, Circus Film doesn't want to make money. So I can only speculate
film?
I can only speculate that it's a political agenda. You know, everything is Circus Film in general.
Oh.
They're trying to indoctrinate all the fans, the young fans. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about me. The real fans of Star Wars. They want to indoctrinate the young fake fans.
Well, I mean, so to be honest with you, I mean, obviously this was stated in an interview. They said, we don't want to build a park for 40-year-olds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not 40 yet, and I still wanted that park. Maybe make a park for 30-year-olds. Who's got the money? Make a park for a 7-year-old. What the fuck are they going to give you? They don't got no money.
It just seems like they're allergic to making anything related to the first 6 movies. Like even the Kenobi show is all about Reva.
Yeah.
Fucking Reva is the main character. That show had limited room to fail. A lot of people would argue it just cannot exist based off that line in New Hope with Vader.
Yeah.
And they made her the main character of the show. And they fucked it up.
I think
the same thing with Andor, and the same thing with the Wokalite. And
they just, to me, it seems a little bit like a spoiled kid who got the inheritance. That's the best way I can describe it right now. It's a spoiled kid who got the inheritance from dad and wants to strike out and do their own thing, and the public is rejecting what they're doing. And so they continue to force it down your throat, saying, no, this is what you want. I'm just like my dad. This is what you want. And people are like, no, it's not. And I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to spend my money on it. It's just not, it's not what I want. Definitely doesn't seem like what you want. And from the conversations that I've had around the Star Wars community, there definitely seems to be an issue. Now, is it, I think where you and I differ, you know, is it the end of Star Wars? I mean, some might say yes. I think there still might be, maybe this is just me as a human, just a little light at the end of the tunnel somewhere. I know you're not pumped for Andor at all, but when the Trump thing came out and they were like, it's an allegory for Trump's America, I shut down completely. I'm like, great, another fucking show like that. And then I saw the early reviews from the critics saying that most Star Wars fans are going to hate this. And I'm like, I might like the show. I might like it. It's a very adult spy thriller that doesn't try to please Star Wars fans. I'm like, I bet you it's going to be good. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm going to find a way to trash this show. I've been very honest with my reviews.
You're going to find a way to trash it?
I've been very honest with my reviews, but I can't promise honesty going forward. I'm just going to fucking trash it because that's what they deserve.
But then that doesn't fix anything, right?
It will help avenge Star Wars. See, at this point, George Lucas' Star Wars is dead. Like, this is not Star Wars.
Yeah, it's been dead for a hot minute. Yeah.
This is Disney Star Wars. It's not George Lucas Star Wars. And the only way to the only way to move on is to trash it and produce entertaining stuff on my channel. See, people can't be entertained by Communist Plus, then they could watch The Knights of Melvin.
Did you call it Communist Plus? This is why I want to go on a show. You're extra as fuck. It's sensationalism, and to be honest with you, I applaud you and I enjoy it at times. It's just the only place I feel like we disagree is that, look, you're never gonna fix what they did, right? I mean, that shit is buried underneath a wagon that's been dead since the 1800s, laying in a field somewhere, and it's never coming back, right? The shit that happened with sequel trilogy, Boba Fett, that shit is just gone. It's gone. But having said that, if they can make good content moving forward, and this is when I tell you I'm shooting a flare into the dark, if they can make good content moving forward, will you still just be like, nah, not interested, even though it's good Star Wars content?
One, they can't make good Star Wars content. I've seen enough. And going forward, who wants to watch the sequel trilogy to the sequel trilogy? Who wants to watch Rey and her Jedi Order? No one wants to watch that shit.
That's the rough part, right? Because that's probably where they're gonna go, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's like Andor, if it doesn't like fuck with canon, and I don't like it. Like all their shows have potential to be good because they're imitating Star Wars. Right. But I've seen enough where it's all gonna be fucked up, and the only thing that's been respectable is a show that is linked to Jon Favreau, and that's The Mandalorian. So
yeah,
going
but Johnny
forward,
was part of Book of Boba Fett, bro.
So I mean, that show wasn't that good, but it wasn't a channel. It wasn't a show that makes me want to start the channel, turn to the dark side, like the sequel trilogy.
Right.
Just kind of like a whatever, like move on.
Well, I mean, it pissed me off. I love Boba Fett.
It's like Kenobi, that was fucking terrible, like unacceptable. And just going forward, and Andor could be another show where it's just like, if they don't fuck with the canon, it's like it kind of be its own thing. But eventually they're going to have to get into Way Skywalker, and that's going to be terrible.
There's a reconciliation there somewhere, right?
And it's like, then you got everyone like Reylos, they want them to resurrect Ben Solo, and it's like, he fucking died. Accept it.
Twice. For me, I think, we've all been kind of tiptoeing around the subject, right? Because there was a time where we thought maybe there would be a world between world things with Ahsoka. There was that kind of whole retcon thing, which I honestly didn't really put any stock into ever, because there's no fucking way Disney's going to get rid of Rey. They're way too proud to get rid of that character and let fans who are upset with it win. There's just no way. They're not going to fucking do it. And so I didn't really have a lot of faith in that whole thing, but it was a really good way to get around it.
Definitely a long shot, but based on the way that the people reacted to The Last Jedi and the simple fact that you'd make the most money by fucking trashing that trilogy and doing it again. And it's just like corporations, that's all they want. They want to make money, but not Disney, not Circus Film. I don't know what the fuck they want. They just want to push their political bullshit. That seems to be the number one priority. And if do you watch Better Call Saul, Cobra Kai?
I watched Cobra Kai, so I loved Cobra Kai. I haven't watched any episodes of Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad, either of them.
Okay.
I haven't. Well, that's way too big of a time commitment for me, bro.
It's the same thing with Cobra Kai, where the creators really love the Karate Kid. Right. They pay attention to detail. They don't miss anything. So when they do the writing and everything, they don't fuck anything up.
They're paying attention.
And if you look at it, there are some things where you'd be like, oh, that's woke. That's woke. They got females fighting. I think there's a couple gay characters, and it's just like, you can still push your diversity bullshit, but you can still
a good show.
Have good writing.
Yeah.
See, Disney's number one problem is not the whole woke diversity shit. It's the fucking bad writing. But the reason why it's bad writing is because they don't give a shit about the writing. They care about pushing their political bullshit, hire these activists who don't know dick about Star Wars. And I'm fucking tired of it. That's why we are fighting back against the Disney shows.
You're a fucking character, man. You're a character. So, so my question would be then, if they're going to write a good Star Wars show and they're going to incorporate, let's look at The Acolyte, for instance, right? So the biggest thing that they pushed out is that the main character of The Acolyte is non-binary. Everybody get excited about that, right? We haven't really heard much about the story. A couple leaks came out a little bit ago, and I was less than impressed. If they were going to write a show right now that would please Darth Melvin, right now, and be like, Knights, we need to back the show, what would it be?
They would have to find a way to incorporate the Sith, have them interact with some Jedi, have them kill some Jedi, have a really good story with the details.
What kind of story, though? And I don't want to put you in the hot seat. I'm not telling you to write a fucking Star Wars show right now, but...
Well, I mean, one, they can't fuck up the canon, and what they're going to do with this show, if they're going to have the Sith and Jedi go at it a little bit, they're going to fuck it up like Kenobi. Because they go to Pablo Hidalgo and be like, hey, Pablo, is it okay that we do this on the show? And then he's just like, yeah, I like The Last Jedi.
I don't like that person.
So it's like, they don't know the lore. They don't care about the lore. So they're going to be very careless, unlike Cobra Kai, where it's like every detail's covered. So they're already going to fuck it up. So with the show like The Acolyte, the number one thing I do is every fucking detail would be covered. That we don't fuck with the canon. And I think you could have some interactions with Sith and Jedi, but at the end of the day, like, that can't get leaked out. That's all going to get covered up.
Right.
Because the Jedi think the Sith are extinct.
Right.
So I don't know how you can be very clever with that in the writing when Disney has shown nothing in the past to indicate that they're clever at all with their writing. It's all fucking bullshit.
Well, they're not very clever. That's the bottom line, right? So I just got done last night. I watched a movie called Mother. Have you ever heard of that?
Is that
It's with what's the girl from the Hunger Games and shit? Jennifer fuck, what is her name? Somebody in chat bring this up for me, please. I'm sorry. It was the girl, Mother. It's the girl from the Hunger Games, Jennifer
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh my god, this is gonna kill me. Jennifer Lawrence, thank you. Oh my god, Felicity came through. Jennifer Lawrence, and the entire movie is weird as hell. It's nuts. You're watching the whole thing and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then right at the end, you're like, bing, light bulb. And you get this fat endorphin rush because all of a sudden the whole story makes sense. Everything that's happened makes sense. And you're like, damn, that was a good experience. That's something I haven't enjoyed in cinema for so long. And my question to Disney would be like, is it because you're trying to cater to young kids that older fans are not accepting it? And if older fans are not accepting your material, i.e. not bringing the kids to your park, i.e. not spending money on your shit, why wouldn't you change it? Why the fuck would you not change what you're doing if you're not making money? And I think the general consensus for the board at Disney is that, well, we're making enough. And they are.
And the big shots, they're getting their money.
They're making the money.
As far as maximizing revenue, no, they're not. But the big shots, they're getting paid.
Felicity, we're going to sit down and talk about that movie for a minute. It's insane. But I think the biggest thing for me, so they bastardized. The biggest problem that happened to Star Wars is it was corporatized. Anytime you corporatize anything, it loses the magic, right? So what we got and what we know as Star Wars was one man's passion project, a beautiful story with hundreds of people who were incredibly talented, bringing a story to the screen, and then a corporation bought it, and you're like, fuck. It's the same thing as grandma and grandpa making a chicken stand, and they fry the best chicken in the neighborhood, and everybody's like, oh my God, you have to have grandma and grandpa's fried chicken. And then a corporate entity buys grandma and grandpa's fried chicken, and then they take it nationwide. there's no fucking way it's gonna taste the same. You know what I mean? They're looking to cut corners. They want to cut, wherever they can to make some money. But everybody knows grandma's and grandpa's chicken. But it's not the fucking same if you were there when it was what it originally was. Am I ranting?
It just fuck Disney. That's all I got to say.
It just fuck Disney.
It doesn't make sense to me. It's like I've said it before. It's all about the revenue. They just don't seem to care about that. They care about something else. And now we're getting into like conspiracy theories, like what are they actually doing over there? Why are they trying to indoctrinate people? Because they're not maximizing profits, and the easiest thing to do would be to have like a Luke Skywalker theme park, not the fucking Galaxy's Edge. Like, who the fuck wants to go to Galaxy's Edge? You'd have to pay me to go there.
I'm gonna go there in September. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm a little fucking worried. I'm gonna be really upset. The only thing I want to see is the Millennium Falcon. I'm going there, but it's for my honeymoon. We're going to Disney World for a while. I'm more interested in going to the fucking Avatar park than I am going to fucking Galaxy's Edge. Look at my room. You should see the other wall. I should be very excited to go there. And
I'd rather go to Universal, check out Harry Potter World.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Potter, they're fucking up that too.
Are they?
I still got to see the latest one, but I heard it was
Oh, look
bad.
who I found. Hey, just wanted to let you know, there's a super fan who's very interested in talking to you. Super fan. He's got his pom-poms.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's going on, Melvin?
Just hanging out.
We're just
Screaming.
lamenting about what Star Wars possibly could have been.
Yeah,
Shitting on shit-ass Disney.
Yeah, I texted Coach. He's watching a movie with the kids. He was gonna jump on like 30
Every
minutes
time
ago.
I ask him to come somewhere, he's always watching a movie with the daughters, right?
Yeah.
Every time.
Family life. I have no kids, so I'm free pretty much all the time.
Yeah. So we've got now apparently what YouTube has deemed the black pillars of Star Wars, all on one screen.
Yeah, the funny thing is we get called black pills and we get called shills. I was in one of Melvin's streams one night, and somebody in his chat was like, Echo Base Network is Disney shills. I'm like, do you even watch our content? We have never shilled for Disney. Now, of course, we don't go as hard on them as Melvin does. Well, I sometimes go hard on it. Coach takes a little bit more tactful approach, I guess you could say. But yeah, I 100% support everything Melvin's doing on his channel.
He did talk about putting a yellow lightsaber in a butt the other day, and I at that point I was like, I don't know about that, man. It's a big old yellow lightsaber in a butt.
But
Fucking
one thing
yellow
I will say,
lightsaber agenda.
yeah, one thing I will say that Melvin addressed on one of his streams that that I thought was interesting was, I hear everybody talking about, doing the hashtag, sell Disney Star Wars, hashtag sell Star Wars, which I'm all
Oh yeah,
for.
we never talked about that.
Yeah, I'm all for 100%, and I support that 100%. But Melvin put it best is that's almost like a troll hashtag, because Disney's never gonna sell Star Wars. There's enough normies out there watching it and supporting it that they might not be making as much money on it, but it's not like they're just losing billions upon billions. They're missing out on tons of money.
Well, and how much did they just invest into their park, into their Star Cruiser, into their comics, into their merch? I mean, it's a insane prospect to think that they could turn around and sell it. And fuck, Melvin, what number would you put on Star Wars right now if you're going to sell it? George sold for 4. What do you think right now it would sell for?
I don't know, maybe like, man, they really fucked it up. At least 4.
Definitely
we'll
at least
just
4.
say 8. 8 or 10. You know, with inflation.
I was thinking 9. Yeah, I was thinking 9.
6.
Oh God, no! They put way too much money into those parks to sell for 6.
Yeah, I was
And the
having
movies.
a conversation with Coach, and when that lottery was at like
50 million.
1 point whatever billion dollars, I was like, if I won that lottery, I would literally invest that money into like crypto or something, and I would try to get like several $billion and
Just call
literally
Elon.
Try to buy Star Wars from Disney.
You want his number? I got his number. I'll just text him. I got to tear the ears off of Gundark. I'm going to be right back. Melvin, you going to be okay with Nick by yourself?
I think so. What's going on, Nick?
Got done doing our live stream tonight, talking about. Have you watched the Icons Unearthed on Vice?
No, I have not.
It is a great documentary. So the last episode just covered going into the prequel trilogy. It's basically a Star Wars documentary on Vice. But you know, Marsha Lucas this is the first documentary that she's been involved in, and it's very eye-opening. And there's a lot of people that were involved that you know, and a lot of stories there that I'd never even knew of or even heard about. But also the ILM documentary on Disney Plus is actually really good also. It's a great documentary on ILM, and what George Lucas did to Dykstra, I thought was kind of shitty. You know, he built that whole he built ILM and built that technology from the ground up, and then George kind of dropped them, you know, right after Empire, along with his producer of the first 2 movies, Gary Kurtz, which was interesting. But yeah, it was very informative. It was a great. But both of the documentaries are really well done.
Sorry, boys.
Hey, Xwing.
All right, so we got a super chat real quick. We got to hit Young Zwap. I like that name. If Elon bought Star Wars, he could save the franchise and bring back Legends and retcon the sequels. Yo, sometimes I look at the sky and think about rainbows, and I'm like, man, if I could just sail that rainbow all the way into heaven.
Yeah, George is never coming back.
Elon don't give a fuck about pop culture.
Elon
He's trying to
is not-
save humanity. He's like, dude, we're going to Mars. I don't have time to think about Star Wars.
Yeah, and Elon.
No, they're gonna. Once they realize that they're not making any money, they're gonna remake the original trilogy.
Don't fucking say that. Young Zuwap, thank you for the $4.99. Let's kill a youngling.
Thank you.
Oh, that Anakin. Always up to his pesky deeds.
The thing is, if they did that, it would only solidify even more that Disney Star Wars is not George Lucas Star Wars.
Is anyone debating that?
Oh, there's people that are debating
Star Wars
There's
sex
people that are
plane.
crying in my comments every day, saying I'm toxic, saying,
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with the
opinion.
The actual argument is Disney Star Wars, George Lucas Star Wars, or at least a fair rebirth of what George's Star Wars was. I don't agree. I don't agree at all. One of the biggest things that sticks out to me is that there's a very, very fair chance that a bunch of people in George Lucas's original Star Wars movies might have been gay or lesbian. Did you know about it?
Nope.
Was it important?
Nope.
I think mainly people just want to live their fucking lives and be normal humans. I could be completely mistaken, but generally the people who are crying out for attention are the most annoying people to me. It's like, fucking let it go. Just let it go. Let's make a movie. Let's tell a story. I don't care if you have a pole or a hole or if you prefer one over the other. Let's just make a good story.
Yes, speaking of George Lucas Star Wars, I actually said this in chat earlier, just speaking on the documentary stuff that I was talking about while you were away, Xwing. Which have you watched that Icons Unearthed or the ILM documentary on Disney Plus?
They didn't call it Inside the Magic, did they?
Yeah, Inside the Magic is the one on ILM.
Oh yeah, watch the whole thing.
Yeah, did you watch the Icons Unearthed on Vice? Oh God, it's so good. So the insight there is the original George Lucas trilogy was really more of a team effort more than it was just George Lucas, and the prequels were 100% George Lucas.
Yeah,
you know, he had complete control. When in the OT, a lot of the ideas and a lot of the stuff that came about in the OT came from other people, including Vader being Luke's father. You know, that wasn't an original George Lucas idea. And
I've always said the prequels were 100% George.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch 100% George, watch the prequels.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, it was you know, as far as George Lucas Star Wars, that's one thing I thought that was missing from the prequels was like the heart of the team of people that was involved. You know, because
I gotcha.
They even said, even his the head of Lucasfilm at the time, I'm drawing a blank on his name at the moment. I'd have to look it up, but he said the same thing that Coach and I have said for years is, you know, George was basically surrounded by yes men in that prequel trilogy. You know, nobody gave him pushback. When in the OT, you know, Marshall Lucas and a lot of other people were giving him a lot of pushback, like, "Hey, this isn't good. You need to change this." Or you need.
What about you, Melvin? Are you consider yourself an OT boy or a PT boy or both?
Both.
If you had to pick one,
definitely the original trilogy. But yeah, 1 through 6, fucking golden.
It's Star Wars.
A lot of people shit on the Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones. #fake fans.
I fucking love Attack of the Clones. People rip on Attack of the Clones. I still think that's the best battle scene in all of fucking Star Wars. I know I'm gonna piss Nick off right now, but the battle on Geonosis was fucking legendary. It was fucking legendary. It's the first time we see the clones. It brings us back to when Obi-Wan says, "You fought in the Clone Wars," and we get to see it start. That shit was legendary. Loved it.
Yeah, I appreciate the prequels now after the sequel trilogy came out. But of course, you know, when the prequels came out, I was, you know, 20 years old at the time. So
Puka shell necklace, playing late night bar bands. You're like, fuck Star Wars.
Yeah, I was just like, you know, what is this kiddie bullshit, Jar Jar Binks crap, and so much stuff. I was one of the toxic prequel haters, but then after, you know, some time went by, sequel trilogy came out, Clone Wars came out. Even though I didn't watch all the Clone Wars, I watched and heard a lot about different story arcs in there. You know, I've come to appreciate the prequels a whole lot more.
I still fast forward the shit between Anakin and Padme. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I fast forward the fuck out of it. I don't need to see him cut the pair again. I'm good.
Yeah.
If you ignore the love scenes, you know, like that's the biggest criticism of the movie. You ignore the love scenes, you know, not bad.
What's up, brother?
What's
up, I just kind of push through them sometimes. Okay, look, when I was like, I think I was like, I don't even remember how old I was. I was like 12 or 13 when the prequels came out, and I fucking loved them. Even then, like I knew how cringy those love scenes were. I'm like, could you imagine if I did that shit with my girlfriend when I was, you know, 13 or 14 years old? Like, let me have your pear. I'm gonna cut it a little bit. But that's what's awesome is that's fucking George. He's a weird, cringy film school kid who makes weird, cringy love scenes. Like, I love him for it. You know what I mean?
Imagine trying to pull the sand line today. You'd get fucking arrested for that.
I still don't get the I hate sand hate. It fucking makes sense to me.
He used that as an opening to fucking kiss her, and it worked. You know,
I mean, it makes sense, right?
She's like, I like sand and everything, or I like the beach, and he's just like, I don't like sand. You know, it's like
Bro,
you're not
he's a
going to get
slave that
anywhere.
grew up on a fucking desert planet. You think he likes sand? Like, nah, I mean, fuck that. I don't like
And
sand.
it's like a lot of these
I don't
simps
like
on
it.
Twitter think you're going to get somewhere like just agreeing with everything. It's like, oh, it's like, I don't really like sand, but oh, you like the beach? I love the beach too. But
For me,
Anakin
it's like
fucking,
it's like me bringing a chick back to my hometown. And she's like, "Oh my god, look at all the pine cones." I'm like, I fucking hate pine cones. I had to pick those up so much when I was a kid. Like, I hate pine cones.
I
This
hate
shit was
walnuts.
everywhere. Yeah, see, he hates I love walnuts. I don't know. I guess it just depends on where you're at.
We had a walnut tree in our backyard, and my dad would be like, "Get out there and pick some walnuts off the ground." Oh, I hated it.
I got a hard agree here with John saying best thing that came out of Phantom Menace was Qui-Gon.
Man,
that fucking duel was sick as
Dude.
fuck.
yeah.
God tier Star Wars. God tier Star Wars.
This is like
Darth
over 20
Maul.
years ago. Sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darth
Duel of the
Maul
Fates.
was I hated that they killed him off. I wish he would have been the main bad guy all the way up till when Anakin.
He should have
turned
been
to the
Vader.
dark side, you know, and then Vader ends up defeating Maul. Like Maul
Yeah.
was such a cool character. I thought he went out way too early. That last 30 minutes of Phantom Menace was really good. I loved the last part of the film. The rest of it, not so much for me.
Dude, can you imagine
personally,
if that
but-
was what it was? So like Revenge of the Sith, he beats Obi-Wan, Maul's still alive, and then he goes and kills Maul to become his apprentice. That shit would have been nuts.
Yeah.
We
No?
sure did get a
Everybody
lot
say
of
no?
Maul in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
A lot of shit in the
yeah.
Well,
Clone
they
Wars,
brought him
like-
back, dude. They brought him back.
Yeah, that they knew he was the popular character, and they're like, "Oh, let's bring this guy back." Yeah, a lot of people really seem to like him. You know, let's throw some mechanical legs on him, and hey, he survived.
Fucking
He
Dave
survived.
Filoni and his Ahsoka fetish bullshit.
Did you see the so there was an article that came out that they watched an unfinished episode of Ahsoka and Dave Filoni. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. Look, there's a lot of content creators out there in the Star Wars universe that I do trust. So actually, I take that back. There's a few that I do trust. Bryce Dallas Howard is one of them that I would trust to handle something moving forward. Jon Favreau, I trust to a degree. He's had some fuck ups.
Book of Boba Fett.
Dude, Bobby Rod is to blame for Book of Boba Fett. But
Still can't get
remember,
over the Power
Tamara
Rangers.
Morrison did call Jon Favreau and was like, "I'm talking too much, mate." And he's like, "Take the helmet off and say the fucking lines." I was like, "John, you shouldn't have done that."
Yeah, he should have.
For me-
to Morrison.
Dave Filoni, everybody praises the fuck out of Dave Filoni. Like, he is the savior of Star Wars and he can do no wrong. I just do not feel that way about Dave.
I do not.
There is
subscribe
a
to that
very
at all.
Ryan Johnson-esque feeling about Dave sometimes. When I hear him talk and I hear him saying shit, like, I don't fucking trust you. I don't fucking trust you.
Overrated. Hashtag Ahsoka fetish. The guy's out of his fucking mind.
And so he came out in an article and watched an unfinished episode of Ahsoka and said it was a religious experience. And I'm like,
He's a weird guy. He's a weird
He's
guy.
weird,
Interview
bro.
he did at the women's conference, Dave Filoni.
yeah, I saw that.
It's,
Look,
once I
here's
saw
the thing,
that,
though.
like,
Here's the thing. You got to remember that some of these people get put in situations where if they fuck up, they're over. You know what I mean? And so they play to the situation. Shit like that happens in Hollywood all the fucking time. All the time. So you have to kind of try to figure out like what's really sus when they're actually giving their real opinion and when a camera's on them and when they're under pressure to say something.
Yeah, I agree.
fuck Dave Filoni.
Tell us how
He
you
needs to
really
be
feel.
fired. You know, everything he did with The Mandalorian featured a strong woman. And
Filoni,
it's just
baloney.
like, it's like
Not
he
wrong.
does know Star Wars. He's got ties to George Lucas, but it's just like I've seen enough of his work where he should not be on Star Wars anymore.
You know what was fine for me though? Like that wasn't Book of Boba Fett. That was Mando. When Fennec Shan and Gina are up on the rooftop and they're sniping people as Mando's running away, I'm like, fuck, I had my little flower power moment. I'm like, fuck yeah, get them, girls. Like, they were shooting the shit out of people. It was believable. Like, Gina Carano's a bad bitch. Of course she's going to be fucking killing people as they're trying to run away. And then as soon as they yeeted her, I'm like, well, now I don't believe anything you have to say.
She's a strong, very inspirational woman, and they fucking fired her ass for what? Some fucking bullshit.
That's when you shaved off your mustache, isn't it, Xwing? It'll be back after the wedding, all right? I'll be honest with you, Mrs. Xwing had full say when it came to the pictures for the wedding, so don't worry. We'll get my weird-ass porn stash back after the wedding, I promise.
Yeah, the thing about also with Filoni and Ahsoka is George always said, Ahsoka's dead. As soon as Disney got it, Filoni came out and was like, George isn't in control anymore. I can do what I want now. And he came out on stage with the Ahsoka Lives shirt, and of course, he brings her right back in. Which there's a lot of hardcore Ahsoka fans out there that really appreciate that they are bringing her back. And I like Rosario Dawson playing the character.
She's great, dude.
But if you want to get down to the nitty gritty on George Lucas Star Wars, Ahsoka shouldn't be alive.
George Star Wars is gone.
Yeah.
You have to view it that way. Like, you can't view it as Star Wars anymore. There's Star Wars and Disney Star Wars. They are two very, very different things. Very different.
Yeah. It's like we're
Melvin?
getting turds with some sprinkles.
Okay, you know what? I actually thought about this. I can't believe you brought this back into my mind. This is so fucking funny, Nick. I was sitting on the toilet today thinking about the stream tonight and like, how do I describe how I feel about Disney Star Wars right now? Well, a lot of these shows are essentially Disney puts an iPhone in a balloon, okay? Brand new iPhone fucking 16 or whatever we're on right now. Sticks in a balloon, fills it with helium so it floats. And then they run a string down to a fucking turd, a human turd. And then they push these balloons down the street. They're like, look, guys, we're giving you what you want. It's an iPhone. And I'm like, but it's in a balloon that's attached to a fucking human turd. And some of us are like, there's literally human shit floating down the street. Do you guys not see this? And then other people are like, they're giving away iPhones. Can you believe that? There's iPhones floating down the street. And I'm like, I see a human turd floating down the street and you see an iPhone.
Yeah.
That was my analogy. I just see a fucking piece of shit floating down the street and they're looking at iPhones.
Yeah, that's literally what we've seen over the last couple years is with a lot of people in the Star Wars fandom, it doesn't matter what they do. You slap that Star Wars name on it, and they're going to eat it up and love every minute of it. Star Wars Obsession, who's a friend of ours, is one of those people that just
it's a fucking mega show. I love the
everything that they do.
Love the guy. Fucking
does he need to be exposed?
And I just can't subscribe.
Oh my God,
I'm literally watching these shows, wanting it to be great, wanting it to be good. And I just can't lie to our audience and be like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever, when it's complete shit, I mean, we got to be honest. And we get a lot of flack, when we trash stuff. We don't want to trash it, but we got to call a spade a spade.
And that's where I'm at. I mean, the bottom line is I want to be positive about Star Wars. I've spent way too much money and way too much goddamn time to want to be negative about Star Wars. But the problem is, I didn't make that shit. Somebody else did.
I just bought these this week.
Nice.
Have you seen the Star Wars Marvel comics?
Oh, I've given up on
Didn't
Star
Boss
Wars,
go to the
Star
Halcyon?
Wars comics.
You see what they did in this flashback? Gave Luke a fucking yellow lightsaber. Rey Skywalker approved.
I had not heard that.
They used to reserve yellow lightsabers for temple guards.
No,
and
they're
now
doing it now.
They've ruined the yellow lightsaber.
They're doing it now to push a Rey Skywalker agenda in these comics. I had a knight call out Charles Soule on Twitter about it. You know, like, why is Luke's lightsaber yellow in this flashback? You know what he did? Fucking blocked him.
So much blocking
and
these
Charles
days.
Soule also blocked me.
To
And
be
I'm also
honest with you,
blocked
I've actually never blocked anybody on any social media at all, ever. It's so easy just to not read the message and just leave it in the inbox, and then it gets buried.
The
Like,
only ones we
blocking somebody is such a fucking
accounts.
blocking somebody is such a like cowardly, weird, bright-cheeked insult. It's just so fucking dumb.
Plus, they can
And-
just create another alt account and just be right back on your account.
You could, I guess, but anybody in the chat who fucking hates me, don't worry, you'll never have to make another alt account. I just don't look at it. Like, I don't fucking care. Or I'm scrolling through and I look at it and they're like, you probably like yellow lightsabers in your butthole. I'm like, it's kind of funny. And then keep moving. Like, it's not, I don't understand how people on the internet, and especially people on YouTube for sure, have become such fucking pussies. Somebody says something spicy on the internet and all of a sudden you're offended as fuck and you have to make a video about it and you have to fucking talk about it and all these different things. Like, were you not around when fucking AOL Instant Messenger or MySpace and I don't know, something?
I'm sure
a
all
lot of
three of
these
us here
people on
have
the
done
internet,
Just
they
because
get
you
beat-
said that, I'm not going to let Melvin talk now. Melvin can't talk now. Just because
a
you
lot
said
of
that.
these people on the internet, they get beaten up back in the day for being a fucking pussy. That's where I'm coming in. I'm gonna fucking change things. I'm not just fighting back against Star Wars. It's fucking everything. I'm going after it all.
Can we set up a Melvin Xwing cage fight for charity?
I'd be down.
I'm super. You have to wear the mask though. That means anywhere I hit you on your face, it's gonna do the whole mask.
I want to see a triple team match between Darth Melvin, Mad Max, and Doomcock.
Oh my god, that would be that'd really be something. But look, here's the deal: you're internet people. Let's do some good. You know,
Yeah.
let's do some good.
I'd rather trigger
Well.
the fake fans, trigger the Disney shills.
Where did you come up with that? Disney.
I've never actually. I don't think I've ever told anyone where I came up with that. I don't know if I
Somebody
should reveal it now.
block this guy. He's just been consistently trolling in my chat. If we can get rid of this dude, it'd be great.
Drunk 3PO. A lot of people are triggered by him. Drunk 3PO is a great guy.
Mike Zero is the ring announcer. Hello, everybody. Today is Mike Zero, and we are very much excited to see very much Brie Larson. I'm sorry.
Please subscribe for more Star Wars content.
Okay, let's take a minute here
Zero's
because,
been taking a big hit lately.
dude,
He's not getting. He's getting as much views as I'm getting, which is.
can
not
we
good.
acknowledge just for a moment that Mike Zero is a fucking legend for what he was able to pull off? They made Netflix shows about that German girl who was able to fake like she was royalty for however long and be like, she was acting like she was a German baroness. That's Mike Zero in real life. He was like,
I mean,
I
I
have
have
all the
respect-
scoops on Star Wars. I swear to God, I'm telling you right now, Brie Larson literally bought Lucasfilm.
He's a clickbait OG, and I respect his powers and the dark side to just like keep going, like ignoring the massive playlist I have on him. He just keeps going.
Great.
This is
But
why
the algorithm is not pushing his shit anymore.
don't ever be friends with celebrities. They're so fucking needy. Wow, you didn't even read my super chat. Melvin, you're my hero. He was telling me the other day, we were talking on the phone about how he spends all this money on super chats with other channels, and then he spends like 99 cents here, $1.99, there.
Jeremy, I think, does the same thing to him, though.
Yeah. Well, he sent me $1.99. Jeremy sends him 99 cents.
Yeah.
So to Jay, here's a toast.
Yeah, Jeremy actually just Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers actually just sent us a message last night, a really nice supportive message on our demonetization.
Well, you're part of the black pill family now.
Yeah. We're called black pills by some, shills by others. It's like, which one are we? Definitely not shills if you watch our content, you know.
What do
But
you
we're
think,
not black
Melvin?
pills either.
Are they shills? Should you expose them?
No, they don't violate the Melvin code.
I've been trying to get Melvin to shit on me for like a fucking year almost at this point. I'm like, Melvin, come on. You can find something. If you dig deep enough in some of the old live streams, I'm like, I'm telling you guys, Kenobi's going to be great. And then by episode 6, I'm like,
I don't know if you want to get Melvin. I end careers on YouTube. That's how bad the exposings get.
I love a challenge.
I want to
what
see
I mean?
Melvin do Stephanie Janicek, Smuggler's Cantina.
Oh, that would be great for you. She pissed me
Yeah.
off.
Yeah,
she really pissed me off.
Yeah, she came after us hard when we started shitting on Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi.
Yeah, that's right. It was Book of Boba Fett.
And then she, in her stream, she was just going on and on like, Star Wars fans don't get it. Kenobi is good. They didn't break canon. I'm like, did we watch the same show here? Like, what are you talking about? But yeah,
I can't
Darth
understand what she's
Melvin
saying most
reviewing
of the time
Stephanie
anyway.
Janicek, Smuggler's Cantina would be
I'm adding them to my notes.
hilarious.
Oh, we got a shopping list now for
Oh,
Darth Melvin.
and the funniest thing is like if you go in her live streams and somebody, you know, gives some pushback to what she's saying, she literally yells at them in chat and is like, "Shut the fuck up and listen to what I'm saying. It
What?
does not break canon." Yeah, she like yells at her subscribers. I'm like, good God, why are you talking to your fan base this way? It is insane. She blocks people left and right. And she goes hard on Drunk 3PO, Jeremy, Ryan Kennel.
All that too, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't
The
know
only
she
way
wanted
to
get
combat
straight,
that shit is just to trigger them more and watch them have the meltdown.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She talks.
All right. At this
shit
point, if
about
you trash on
Drunk
Echo Base and
3PO.
Jay, yeah, I'm done with you.
Yeah, she came after us hard and was telling people unsubscribe and stuff just because we thought
I'm sure
Book
that
of
had a
Boba Fett
massive
sucked.
impact on your channel.
Kenobi sucked, you know. But people are literally telling us, they're like, she's like coming at you guys hard, and you know, she was a subscriber, and we've had her on the channel before, and we've always been super nice with her, you know, and we're fine with people having difference of opinions, but yeah, she's kind of went out there. But yeah, I'd love to see Melvin review her channel.
Well, everyone is getting fucking exposed. It's gonna take time. Like, I'm not coming close to running out of ideas for content. So everyone is gonna get their turn. They're gonna get exposed if they violate the Melvin code. And Xwing, I don't know if he wants to get Melvin. I really don't.
Oh, if you went back in some of Xwing's old streams, Melvin, I'm sure you'd probably have a lot to say.
Oh, he's got ammo for sure. Well, I mean, the bottom line was, you know what sucks for me? I love Star Wars.
Yeah, same.
I fucking
here.
love Star Wars. The bottom line is, I'm a Star Wars fan, and I'm willing to defend Star Wars. At this point, I'm not willing to defend at any rate, ratio, or degree Disney Star Wars. It's fucked right now,
Dude,
and
Star
I don't
Wars
really know
is
what to do.
trash.
But I'm not, you know,
Yeah.
the difference is, you know, Melvin, we were talking about this, you know, I'm not just going to make videos just to shit on it. That's you, Melvin, and God bless you, and safe travels on your journey. I'm just going to
You
keep
need
watching this
you need
shit
balance.
and see, you know, what comes of it. If there's something I'm okay with, I'm totally going to make a video and be like, you know what, that was good. And if something's bad, I'm not going to hold back on it. It's just, it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, I agree. So, Melvin, whose channel's in your sights right now coming up? Can you give us any insight?
I think it's this guy.
The
That's
next
funny
video-
that Drunk 3PO said that because Coach said the same thing before I jumped on here.
The next video, I'm wrapping up the Shiltastic 4. A lot of shit's going down in that episode.
Mhm.
And then after that, Star Wars Sexplained is gonna get it bad.
Oh, he's
That
the
guy
worst.
has been shilling off the charts, and he's gonna get fucking exposed. Have you seen his channel? Everything he's fucking doing. Oh,
Who is
Kenobi
it?
didn't break canon. The fucking Padawan book. Oh, that's great. And then it's like, oh, Andor is going to be amazing. Every fucking thing on his channel is how Disney Star Wars is great. And so he's going to get at least a couple videos exposing his ass again.
But everything in Disney Star Wars is not great.
Well, according to Star Wars
you wouldn't think that watching
who
his channel.
Sexplains Star Wars, he says it is great.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're welcome to your opinions, I guess.
Yeah, him and Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers had a back and forth, and Jeremy saw him at Star Wars Celebration and tried going and talking to him, and him and his wife, what was her name, Molly, they like took off running and like ran away from Jeremy.
Wow. Nice balls.
Yeah. Yeah, he is a bitch, a total bitch.
You know, he did his bullshit a couple years ago, made this last week in clickbait thing on his channel, calling out Theory, calling out Jeremy.
Yeah.
It's like they were reporting something about like moving guns from Solo or something. And so he's just calling him out and being like, well, technically that's not right. And like,
Can I be honest with you guys real quick? I fucking hate channel drama.
It's every single day you'll find.
Yeah, I know. It's just not something I want to do. I'm willing to talk about Star Wars, but I fucking hate channel drama. Unless it's somebody that I hate enough that where I'm like, it's acceptable here. Like the Stephanie Janisek shit. Bring it on. Yeah, I'll do a whole 1 hour live stream on it. I don't appreciate that shit. I don't. Especially when it's people who attack, people that I know are good people.
Yeah.
If it's somebody I don't know, then whatever. Like Star Wars Sexplained, I guess is what you keep calling. I've never seen one of his videos. I don't know who the guy is. I guess I should probably do my homework after this.
I watched him back in the day, like during like the AMC Movie Talk Collider days. He would like go on Collider and stuff, and his videos back then were very informative. But then after The Last Jedi came out and he was just shilling hard for like everything, I was just like, fuck this dude. Like,
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that is just gonna not be negative about anything and not give you the truth. And Melvin actually even did a video showing where he was talking about how he wouldn't like this or wouldn't be happy if they did this. Then when he did it, he comes back and is like, oh, I thought that was really interesting. That was a really good take or a really good angle they did. And I was like, dude, what are you talking about? Just like a couple months ago, you were saying the exact opposite.
For me right now, I only have beef with one person.
It's a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be.
And it's only honestly because they came after one of my friends when they were a very, very young channel. Anybody who comes after somebody when they have a very young channel for me is like, dude, that's a predator.
Yeah.
That's a predator who's scared of an upcoming predator. So for me, yeah, I'll take you down. Fuck you. I don't like you.
give yourself to the dark side.
You're gonna keep trying. We're gonna be talking more, I hope, moving forward. Nick, thank you so much for popping in and saying what's up. Darth Melvin, I know you've got some kind of an ending speech that you want to get out before we get out of here.
I'm growing stronger in the dark side every day, but I need more knights.
Well, he's recruiting, so yeah, look around.
Everybody go subscribe to Darth Melvin. He's doing good stuff over there. Very entertaining, and he has me rolling on the floor just about every video.
This shit is so fun. It's just funny. It's fun and it's funny, and part of it's kind of serious. Yeah, some shit should be looked at, but stop being a baby. Have fun. Enjoy your time on the internet.
Yeah.
Subscribe to people who love Star Wars. I have had people who are massive shills on my channel. I've had people who are all the way on the other side of the spectrum when it comes to my channel. The most important thing for me when it comes to Star Wars is that we can have conversations and not be complete and total fucking children when it comes to talking about this stuff. We should be able to have opinions. We should be able to talk. It's the reason why I got Melvin on. That's why I have Nick on. That's why I have Star Wars Santa on. And I hope you're doing okay, Brian, and you and your dad. I hope you guys are on your way to a speedy recovery. Everybody have a good night. Thank you so much for joining us. Anything you guys want to say before we go?
Fuck Disney.
I
Shocked.
concur. Fuck Disney, Star Wars.
There's
XXL
still
Star
a
Wars.
tiny little light at the end of the tunnel. Just a little bitty butthole. Just a little tiny light at the end of the tunnel. And
I'm willing to watch
onto
and
it.
give it a chance, but Coach and I are always going to be honest with our thoughts on it for sure.
Me
And
too, brother.
Here lately, it's just been trashing on it, and then us catching a lot
Oh.
of flack.
Oh, we have one more. Oh my God, Ronnie sent me a fucking super chat. Ronnie, $4.99. Darth Melvin, can you say I'm Darth Melvin and I love Ronnie and his Darth Melvin approved video?
I'm Darth Melvin and I love Ronnie, and this is a Darth Melvin approved video.